Could we build audio amplifier that can outperform or compete with the world brands? Answer is yes, if we are talking about the sound quality. Simple power amplifier module often sounds better than integrated amplifiers due to simplicity and lack of service circuits like input switches, preamplifiers, tone controls, where each of those components are source for potential audio signal distortion, especially in cases when competition is asking for the low-cost components usage in design. Let's look at modern high-end audio system architecture. Computers is universal interface to our music libraries. Let's assume that you did your homework and converted CDs in one of the lossless formats and stored them on personal computer hard drive or home network or cloud storage. Personal computer is also capable to connect to music content paid services like Spotify or even dedicated audiophile content. In the same time, properly configured, any PC is capable to deliver ideal digital signal. Next component is digital analog converter. This is most critical component to move from digital to analog world. At some point we need analog signal what will drive our amplifier and loudspeaker. Take a study and proper investment to choose good one. If you're on really tight budget, check professional audio interfaces like Focusrite Scarlett or others. Those interfaces have decent playback quality, and as extra you will get built-in high-quality microphone preamplifier, what combined with a microphone could be good source for a podcast, voice recordings or even conferencing. The price range for such units are from 100 to 350 USD or euros. There are more expensive units in the market, but this looks more like a sales skill than sound quality improvement. I have experienced with Cambridge Audio manufactured DuckMagic Plus. See picture in right corner. It has excellent customer reviews, really decent quality, volume regulator and balanced outputs, what I need for some projects. Next component is power amplifier. According to our design, we need amplifier stage only. Loudspeakers are most expensive and most critical components for high-end audio systems today. Select according to your budget, room size and needed design. If you are really in a tight budget, check near-field monitors in professional shops. Even low cost or low priced units will sound okay. Amplifier requirements. Okay, we want a small footprint, lightweight, high efficiency, reasonable costs, audiophile sound quality, definitely, easy to assemble, enough power output, 2 times by 250 watts, it's quite okay for any scenarios what they are going to use. Capable to drive 4 to 8 ohm speakers, what is industry standard. Also on the right side you can see we choose industrial competitor, Nova 150 amplifier. It's pretty similar to architecture what we made, and it is priced at a price point 1,800. So nice competitor to compete with. What we need for a very good audio amplifier? The first and very critical component is power supply. Then definitely we need a good amplifier board, enclosure and assembling materials. From the right side we can see how such amplifier looks like. This is the same Nova with an open cover. There is a main filter. There is additional or separate power supply what drives digital analog converter. And here is the amplifier itself. Amplifier power supply, right channel, left channel. Power supply is the most critical component for any audio amplifier. But for our architecture, it is even more critical. For a long time, it was a significant challenge to get a switching mode power supply what is capable to work with the audio systems. For some time, among many resonant converters, a half-bridge LLC type resonant converters has been the most popular topology for many applications, since this topology has many advantages over other topologies. It can regulate the output over wide line and load variations, but is absolutely critical for audio amplifiers because we are listening it in a silent mode, almost silent mode, and we are listening in a loud mode. Also, such kind of power supplies can achieve zero voltage switching over the entire operation range, and all essential parasitic elements, including junction capacitances of all semiconductor devices and the leakage inductance of transformer, are utilized to achieve soft switching. So such kind of power supplies has really low emitted noise. And of course it really has a high efficiency, 95%, it's significant. Our chosen power supply has a continuous power of 500 watts and a peak power of 800 watts. Power supply has regulated output voltage, what is important for Class D architectures, even more than for Class AB. It's a relatively small footprint, just 100 by 100 millimeters, and decently priced. I also put a web link where you can acquire it, or it's also available in eBay. And the voltage what we choose is plus minus 55 volts. And depends on the region where you are located, you need either 110 volts, it's United States, or you need 220, it's Europe. This power supply is not capable to work full range from 110 to 220. You should specify. If you look at the previous specifications requirements, we are really coming to the Class D, and today I would say that Class D amplifiers start to outperform Class A amplifiers. Still there is some battles in audiophile forums, you can look at them by yourself, but today high quality Class D amplifier sounds really, really great. Here is our chosen hero. It's Audiophile 7S. Originally it has been built by international rectifier engineers. There are three engineers, Jun Honda, Manuel Rodriguez and Li Wei Zheng, and they built really simple and great power amplifier. And this design, just with a small modification, is capable work from relatively small 25 or 55 watts up to 250 in stereo mode. We are choosing this AMP7S 150. Actually, it is capable to drive 125 watts on 8 ohm load and 250 watts in stereo mode to 4 ohm load. We are not going to use it in a bridge, but in a bridge definitely you can get 500 watts on 8 ohms. And maybe some basic specifications. You can use actually power supply from plus minus 45 volts till plus minus 60 volts. And power, what you can get when distortions start to show up, it's 300 watts. And the load impedance, as I mentioned, is from 8 to 4 ohms resistive load. And ideal power consumption just 7 watts. Normally we can switch it on and never switch it off. And channel efficiency, it's 90%, it's perfect. If you look closer to the critical parameters of this amplifier, a region from 1 watt till 120 watts or even 150, when nonlinear distortions are exceptionally small. Those are really, really good parameters. Dynamic range, great. Damping factor 120, even 100 is good. 120 is excellent, and you can drive any type of load. Full frequency range, and from the left side you can see here the Chinese clone, but this clone has specifics. It is manufactured under a license. Look at here is a mention that there is an international rectifier copyright notification. That means components are used according to the specifications. And one more thing about could we trust those parameters. International Rectifier is a well-known name in professional electronic design industry, and others who will work with those components and with those units also are professionals. They can measure, they can test. That means those parameters are trustworthy. How much should cost good audio amplifier? Now let's assume power supply 82 euros or dollars, amplifier Audiophile 7 Chinese version $70 or euros. Enclosure, well, let's assume that we plan a budget about 30 euros. Materials, connectors 25. If you are experienced in electronics, most probably those parts will be already available for you. Then your project will cost even less. But my recommendation, don't save on the power supply. It's really, really critical that you use a good one. And at the end, I attached step-by-step assembling guide for beginners. This is simple assembling project, so nothing for those who have experience with electronics except some moment to check wire color coding or necessary component set. For those who do not want to build own enclosure, we made very simple powder-coated aluminum sheet metal enclosure that have lightweight design for zero shipping cost policy. Enclosure has necessary cuts for all components, but no any graphics. Enclosure will be available in eBay for decent price under the name ERAW 7S Amplifier Enclosure. All components you can get from online electronic catalog suppliers. In Europe it's Farnell, in USA it's DigiK. In Central Eastern Europe regions, Transfer Multisort Electronics, that is a large Polish component distributor with relatively good prices. I often use it. Or any shop specializing in electronic components sales. There is no any specific or unique components used in design. Good luck!